Hey guys, this is Maverick, and right now we are going to be watching the conclusion of the Boogiepop at Dawn arc with episode 13 of this series. Since it is a continuation viewing, I'm not going to recap too much. We're finally going to get the epic showdown between Dr. Kisugi and Nagi, and probably also the murder dude will show up, and Boogiepop will probably show up as well. Let's just see what happens, and let's jump right into the episode. So beginning in 3, 2, 1, play. Suiting up. Yeah, this guy's going with her. Does she actually know how to fight? Okay. And that's the bug. He's gonna help her. And probably die in the process. When a man kills another, Colonel Psychology. These are the books that Suema was reading. Alright, let me skip this real quick. Yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. She's already come enough times to be recognized by the security guards? Alright. Send her right up. Honestly though, what does this have to do with Nagi? Like, well, I guess Kisugi did say that she had a sense of justice or whatnot. What? Huh? Oh, he can foresee the future? What? Why is Pigeon working with... Why? They were a couple? And how does she know about all this? What in the... Hmm. No, this is... Ah, ruthless. That was savage. Trying to lure her somewhere away. Go off the road? Yep. Dang. What are with these superhumans? What is your plan? Holy shit. Oh, she can't feel fear? Detective Naki. So it's just jealousy after fearless people? And he's your father's killer. Hmm. If only you knew. Hmm. Yeah, I still don't. What was Nagi's whole plan? Ooh. Ooh. Oh, so that's why she's an entire rub. Oh, dang, you are smart, Nagi. Dang. But still, it's. Wait, how? What? And why did she lose her arm? That. Oh, so that's. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why. That's why. Because it was Boogiepop that intervened. I was like, how did Nagi rip her hand off? Oh, the Boogiepop whistle. So that's. Whew. No, he's not dead yet? Harsh but true. Isn't that just exactly what Kiri Seiichi says? What is their relationship? Hmm. Boogiepop da. Just like that. Ah, and back to present day. Why? Huh? Was there something I missed from the first arc? Okay. Passing on the will, just like her father said? Hmm. Yeah, why are you here? Oh, so this is where he waits until he can go back to the current world? Sometimes you can get a taste of your own medicine, Boogiepop. Mm. Alright, so that was the conclusion of the Boogiepop at Dawn arc, and I took some time to consolidate my thoughts on this arc, what I thought of it in general, as well as make sure that I properly understood the concepts within this arc. And first of all, let me just say, whatever misgivings I have about the anime, the Boogiepop anime throughout episodes 1 to 9, uh, this one completely this arc completely blows those other episodes out of the water. It is well constructed. It has a good storyline, good pacing. The music is fantastic as always, and it has a central theme going through it. So, honestly, if this anime was like of this quality throughout all the episodes, I think this anime could legitimately be contender for anime of the season and possibly even the year, right? Unfortunately, I guess due to some adaptation issues or whatnot, it's not like that. But I can wholeheartedly recommend this arc just as a standalone arc as well. And like I said, one of the things I do like about this is that it has a very clear topic or focus going throughout it, and that is, to me, and it actually also makes sense that it's being done after the Versus Imaginator arc, because it touches on some of the subjects that were first brought up within the Imaginator arc as well. And that is the, I guess, concept of free will or anti-conformity, right? So within this arc, all these synthetic humans actually, Scarecrow, as well as Mo Murder, and even Pigeon as well, they did. I think the thing to take away from this is that they all became true humans in the end. What do I mean by this? So if you recall back to the Imaginator arc, one of Kirima Saichi's philosophies or teachings was that what it means to be human is this, I guess, sort of internal struggle against conformity, right? And that also is a topic within this arc as well, where Boogiepop and Kisugi, Dr. Kisugi, had some conversation about this as well. But think about it like this. So these infected humans under the Towa organization don't have their own free will, right? They basically do stuff that's told to them by the Towa organization. However, here they each broke these kinds of orders. I mean, broke free from these orders of the Towa organization and started to do things that they wanted to do things out of their own free will. So in Scarecrow's case, and it all kind of revolves around Nagi as well. So I'm wondering if she has if that's just a personality trait of her, or is there some also supernatural things going on there as well. So Scarecrow, through meeting Nagi, decided to help her, decided to rebel against the Towa organization, brought out drugs for her. In Mo Murder's case, I guess he didn't really break protocol or anything, but he also decided to forfeit his life in order to save Nagi. And in Pigeon's case, again, not really rebel against the Towa organization per se, but she also decided to take matters into her own hands and avenge Scarecrow by killing off Mo Murder. Well, actually, hold on, Tfad. Yeah, that is a rebellion against the Towa organization, because don't forget, Mo Murder was sent by the Towa organization to get rid of Dr. Kisugi, and Pigeon is instead sort of hindering Mo Murder by trying to kill him before he could get to Kisugi, right? So it all kind of ties together here on the concept of these synthetic humans gaining what it means to become human. Sure, maybe they died afterwards and whatnot, but they became human before they died. And actually, if we go back to the Imaginator series, it's the same with the synthetic humans there as well. Spooky E, in his final act of defiance, decided to suicide, right? I think that is something that also he's done out of his own free will. So there's that part. And Orihara, well, we know what happened to her. She's decided to leave the Towa organization. So that is that as well. So this is definitely a part where, I think this is a central theme out of, especially within this arc, and probably throughout the series as a whole, based on Kirima Saichi's philosophies. Now, the question then becomes, alright, so that's good and all, but why is it that Boogiepop has such a different reaction to Scarecrow and to Mo Murder and to Pigeon? Like, specifically, why was there a scene where he basically told Pigeon, no, you're going to hell? Like, some people might say this is Boogiepop getting angry, or him showing his tendencies or whatnot, but I don't really buy it. Boogiepop up to now has still been kind of his morals are not the same as what is the norm to us, right? He has his own set of logic, his own set of rules. I don't see anything where he would think, okay, so Pigeon deserves to die or something like that, or she deserves to be damned to internal damnation, right? I don't think Boogiepop is that kind of character. So it begs the question, so what is the difference between Pigeon and Scarecrow and perhaps murder? So this goes into the second part of Kirima Saichi's teachings, right? And that is the part where, if you guys still remember from the Imaginator series, he mentioned how once you sacrifice yourself to, once you have offspring, your role on this world has ended. Now it's time to pass on what you believe in, pass on what you have to your offspring, sacrifice yourself for your offspring. And it also kind of is mentioned again within this arc as well, where when Saichi was talking with the girl who later became Imaginator about how your time on this world would have meaning or the things that you do would have meaning as long as it can be carried on even after your death, right? So in this case, Scarecrow's, I do believe that Scarecrow's will, if you can call it will, was carried on by Nagi, right? He passed on his will to Nagi's in regards to, I guess, the superhero part or this sense of justice, the detectivism, things like that, and perhaps even Momurder as well, because it was mentioned at the end of the episode that that Nagi is the way she is right now because she's carrying the things that she got from her interactions with these other people, right? So I do believe she's carrying on the will of Scarecrow as well as Momurder. Now, Pigeon, on the other hand, she did not exhibit this kind of behavior, right? So she did demonstrate her free will. She decided to kill she decided to kill Momurder to avenge Scarecrow, right? Because she was in love with Scarecrow. By the way, there was a kind of translation error, I believe, within the episode. The way that Scarecrow mentioned their relationship, he didn't really mention that they were a couple per se, maybe more like partners, right? I know, yeah, it was, he mentioned more about compatibility, so not exactly anything about love. So I'm not sure if it actually is love or something. It's just that based on that dialogue, I don't believe that was love. So, and don't forget, Momurder is not a good guy, right? He essentially killed Nagi's father, and he killed Scarecrow as well, who was helping out Nagi. So, you know, there's no reason for Boogiepop to be angry at Pigeon, even if he were this kind of character, right? But I think the concept is actually more what Boogiepop is trying to say is more of, no, you, in your final act, you act selfishly just for yourself. You're not leaving anything to the future generations. You're not passing on your will to others. It's, you know, you're just trying to do something to fulfill your own needs, and that's it. And that is why Boogiepop, he has judged Pigeon. No, you don't have any redemption waiting for you. So I think that is how that part goes. So this conflict between free will, and then also, I mean, sorry, not conflict of free will, but this concept of free will, and also this concept of passing on your will to someone else. It doesn't necessarily have to be your offspring, but just someone else, right? And also, this does kind of allow us to know a little bit better why Nagi is the way she is. Although I still have some complaints about how powerful she is if she is really just a normal human. Like, I can get resourcefulness. What she did within this episode, I thought was great, right? It was clever. She didn't really exhibit anything superhuman. She used her brain, right? I was completely fooled. I had no idea what she was doing, so I was surprised as well. But yeah, that was a great to watch, great to see. Instead of like within the last arc where she basically took on men twice her size, outnumbering her 10-1. I don't buy that. How can you do that without any supernatural powers? Okay, but one other thing I want to kind of touch on that's related to this subject, and I actually got this thought when also because of Boogiepop's conversation with Pigeon as well, and where they mentioned the concept of going to hell or heaven. So I'm actually thinking maybe this philosophy has some allegories to Christianity belief, or I guess Judaism belief, Islamic belief, the concept of free will and original sin. Now, bear with me, I know this is a kind of stretch, but I also know that a lot of authors like to take inspiration from these kinds of biblical texts and manuscripts and incorporate some concepts of them within their story. So if you think about it in a way, you can also think of this as, knowing what to do, knowing if you're doing something right or doing something wrong, right? That is also, you can do that because you have free will. You have free will to make choices that are for good and choices that are for bad. And it is through this kind of allowment of free will that you are able to essentially go to heaven or go to hell based on the decisions that you make, right? So, of course, this is a grossly oversimplified explanation of free will, but at the same time, I don't know, I see the similarities there. I don't know if it's just me and I'm overthinking this, or if you guys can get what I'm saying here as well. So definitely a touch of that here. In the end, what Murder and what Scarecrow chose, they did the right thing, or I guess the morally right thing, whereas Pigeon did the morally wrong thing. And so that's why they have different outcomes. Though technically speaking, we're not sure if how Boogiepop judged Scarecrow and Murder, right? Maybe he thinks they all deserve to go to hell, and this doesn't have any bearing whatsoever. But I just felt like this was a fun little, I guess, potential reference, if you will. Let me know what you guys think about this theory as well. And then finally, I guess there's still some parts that I have problems with, and that is in regards to Kirima Saiichi and Boogiepop. So it seems to me that Boogiepop is always quoting, or his own moral leaning or logic is aligned with what Kirima Saiichi has to say within his philosophy, his books, his teachings, if you will, and Boogiepop embodies that. But why though? Like, so far, even though this is a prequel already, we still have no evidence that Boogiepop ever had any conversation with Saiichi. So why do they think alike? And why does Boogiepop like to use Saiichi's teachings so much, right? And I feel like this is still another major point that was not explained, and I, for one, would love to know more the connection between these two. Yeah. So that covers the, I guess, central theme park within this arc, and I guess you can even say throughout this series as a whole. Hopefully that came out coherent enough. It makes sense in my brain, but to articulate it is another thing completely. So yeah, that's that part. And other things, I guess, not really much else. I did like how Boogiepop, he's badass as usual, and the part where he chased Kisugi down, that was great. And I absolutely still love his voice, or the voice actor who does his voice, who is actually the same as the girl as well. But anyways, fantastic job there. Music, great. Yeah, just overall a great arc. And I do hope that the future of this series can continue to be of this high quality. I do feel like this kind of format suits this show a lot more, so you don't have to wait 1 week and then have to remember all the different characters and what happened, and then try to tie in events within 1 week with the previous week's events, even though they don't follow chronological order. So it is definitely a better viewing experience on the whole. But at the same time, I feel like even if you take that away, this series was structured in a way that, you know, after every single episode, I was like, I want to keep on going. I want to know more. This is not a chore. This was great to watch, and I want more of it, right? And I never really got that feeling from the past few episodes. Most of the time, it was more like, what in the world did I just watch? So I still feel like there's a contrast there. It's not just a case of 4 episodes being released at once, although that did kind of help in a way. So hopefully, starting from next episode, episode 14, we're going to enter a new arc, and they can continue on with this strong performance. One thing I like to say, though, however, is that I'm going on vacation for this weekend, and so episode 14 will be delayed until maybe next Tuesday or probably next Wednesday, right? So sorry about that. And this video, I'm probably going to open on Friday, sort of, you know, just a placeholder for the original Boogiepop scheduling. So that has been my review of this arc. Again, I feel like even if you don't watch the other previous arcs, it'd be great to just watch this one. It's great as a standalone as well. And yeah, that about concludes it. Let me know what you guys think. And if nothing else, I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.